Okay, I'll call this meeting to order. Please stand for the I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and welcome everybody. This is to our March 15th, Ides of March. Okay, any additions to the agenda? Anybody has? I guess, I'd like to add the town admin review procedure. I'll put that under new business. The only remark I have is that last time we told that Annette Royden was not doing well. She has died. She was a great asset to our town, and she will be sorely missed. Minute approval. I'm sorry, open public comment for items not on the agenda. Okay. Approval of minutes. Every okay.
Do them separate. Madam Chair, I move that we accept the minutes of our regular select board meeting on Tuesday, February 15th as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Jeff?
Abstain. Aye.
Okay, March 1st.
I move that we approve the minutes of the select board reorganization meeting on Tuesday, March 1st as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, treasurer's warrant.
I move that we approve payment of the following warrant. 18T accounts payable, $75,541.25. 9S payroll, $8,302.52. And 10S payroll, $9,597.79. And also move to ratify 17T accounts payable, $99,413.68. 7S payroll, $9,052.30. And 8S payroll, $9,308.55.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Jeff?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
I'm an aye, motion carries. Okay, our town administrator. Shelley, do you want to give it from there, or do you want to just read it?
I can read it.
Good.
That's okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'd like to start with, I received a quote for replacing the lock on the door going into the offices for $294. When the locksmith was out, he noted changing the direction of the door might not be possible, as the bathroom door also swings out into that narrow hallway. So before I move forward with anything, I wanted to run that by you and see what your thoughts were on that. Because if we were to change the direction of the door, I know that for emergency purposes, the bathroom door, I do believe, has to also swing out.
Rick?
Whoa.
Well, I think we should change the swing on the door regardless, because
Okay.
pulling toward you with a fire or an emergency situation, if that hallway coming down that aisle were to get blocked up with people, it would be a difficult exit. The probability of somebody being in the restroom, although it's possible, but the probability of somebody being in the restroom at the same time and the doors banging are I think less of a danger if something were to occur than if those doors were swinging out correctly with the appropriate crash bar hardware.
Okay,
Yeah, because I mean, the bathroom door should still open. That hall door isn't gonna be in the way, right?
if they both open at the same time, they're gonna hit each other. It's a very
Wow.
narrow hallway, but
That's
I
kind
just
of,
wanted to make sure that you were okay with that, because I haven't looked into the replacement of the door, which, that's gonna be a whole nother cost.
yeah, I
What?
think that legally we have to.
Yeah, I don't know if you gotta replace the
Okay.
door, just replace the swing on the door and get buy the crash bar hardware.
Yeah, that whole door frame is, made so that it only swings one way, so it's gonna have to be turned around.
All right,
So, but I'll look into getting, a price on that as well.
have fun with that.
Thank you.
An Act 250 application has been received from Renaud Quarry. This matter will be taken up at the next Planning Commission meeting. Let me see, I attended the Conservation Committee meeting on February 22nd, where the members of the committee are working with the Natural Resource Planner, Margot, from Wyndham Regional Commission, and Forester Jim Edston, the Department of Forest Parks and Recreation, to identify and track the extent of the infestation of the emerald ash borer. Found it very informative, very interesting. And I also attended a presentation also put on by the Wyndham Regional Commission, and that was on creating resilient communities, and it had to do with stormwater and the devastation that had been caused from some of the really bad storms that we had and like Hurricane Irene and things like that in different places. So that was really helpful. And I had one other thing I wanted to add, but for some reason I can't find my list. I am working on getting quotes for the security system. I had one gentleman in today. I'll have another one in tomorrow, and as soon as I can wrap up the rest of the few things that need to be corrected in the town hall for liability through the VLCT, I'll be applying for that grant for the security system. And that's all I have for now.
Thank you very much. Okay, board and committee appointments. It's been suggested that we take these as individuals, so Catherine Baldwin has agreed to be, I presume all of these have agreed, Shelley?
Yes, I received emails from most of the people I had sent out an email to. There are still some I still need to touch base with that I didn't hear back from, and then a couple more that I received after I had warned the meeting.
Okay, great. Okay, so Capital Plan Committee, Catherine Baldwin.
What, to move to,
Yeah,
I move that we reappoint Catherine Baldwin to the Capital Plan Committee.
your second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Tom?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Okay, Cemetery Committee, Sandra Harris.
So moved.
Okay, is there some- Okay, any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Jeff? Tom?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Christiane Howe.
I move that we appoint Christiane Howe to the Cemetery Committee.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor, Jeff? Tom?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Mary Lynn?
So I did not respond back because for a number of years, we have supposed to have had 7 people on that committee. We have not, so we have not even been able to have a quorum to have a meeting. So, before I say yes, I would like the board to put the committee back to 5 so that we can at least have a quorum and to get some more volunteers. We can't work with it the way it is. And the same thing for elderly assistance. So that's why I did not respond, and that's why I'm here.
Okay,
Does town meeting have to reduce the
No,
number,
it's
or can the
the
select board do
No,
that?
we increased the committee because we had a lot of
Yeah.
people that wanted to work, so we increased it from 5 to 7 a number of years ago. But since people have resigned or moved away for various reasons, and we haven't had the volunteers, so we can't.
Well, we can fix that, right?
Mhm.
Okay then. I would move, is there, you wanna withdraw, is there a motion on the floor?
no,
No,
No.
those people
No.
can still be appointed.
Okay. I would move that we change the makeup of the cemetery
an emergency.
An
and-
emergen-
No, and the elderly housing.
and the elderly housing committee from 7 to 5 members.
Sorry.
Second.
Okay, change the elderly, the cemetery committee and elderly assistance from 7 to 5. Any discussion? No?
Aye.
Discussion.
Oh, no,
Okay.
but I'll vote yes,
All
so
those
you
in
know.
favor?
Give me a heads up of where I'm going.
You tipped your hand there. Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
What
motion
attention
carries.
span.
You have a 5-member board. Now, do you want, can you vote on
Now
it?
we have 4 for cemetery.
4, we only have
You, Chris, me, and Meg Lyon.
Meg Lyon.
But you have a board
She
of
was
5,
appointed
so you
last
have
year.
a quorum.
Yeah.
To
now
get
we have a
3.
quorum. Yeah.
Okay. So do I have a motion to reappoint Mary Lynn and add Meg Lyon?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, Jeff?
Aye.
Jean?
I already said, yeah, sure.
Jean?
Yes, aye.
Okay. Emergency management, David Emery.
I move we appoint David Emery to the Emergency Management Committee.
I see a second.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, Jeff?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Wish we'd see him once in a while.
Alex Dunkley.
I move we appoint Alex Dunkley to the Emergency Management Committee.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Jeff?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Okay, Farmland Protection Committee, Arthur Miller.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Jeff?
Yes. Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Skip Baldwin.
I move we appoint Skip Baldwin to the Farmland Protection Committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Jeff?
Aye.
Tom?
No.
Jean?
Aye.
Will be an aye. Okay, Wyndham Regional Commission, Tim Arsenault.
So, can I just,
Mm-hmm.
is this meaning that all the other people that are on these committees are not on them now?
Not until they let us know.
Oh, good. 'Cause
I
how
know.
many pages of committees?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
Mm.
alrighty.
Wyndham Regional for Tim.
So moved.
Second? All those in favor? Jeff?
Aye.
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Okay. Jim Pinkerton?
I move that we appoint Jim Pinkerton to the Wyndham Regional Commission.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, Jeff?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
Okay. And Wyndham Solid Waste District, Sandra Rulich.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Jeff?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
We do need a select board member as a second representative. Do we have any volunteers?
Yes.
You'll volunteer? We'll accept your volunteering.
And I will make as many meetings as I can.
Okay, all right, so Tom is going to be our select board member, he's a volunteer. All right, New England Power presentation of the Huntington Sub Station project. And I believe these three ladies are,
Should I stand?
yeah, probably, so that we can get you, and could you introduce yourselves?
Yes, of course. My name is Sue Scarcella. I am the lead stakeholder specialist for the project. I represent New England Power, but we also do business as National Grid. So I was talking with Shelley earlier. I had emailed the presentation to you all. Yes. I can try to connect, or I can kind of speak to it, and if we need to, I can share it a number of different ways. Is there a best way that you'd like me to?
It was on your, it's right beside you.
It's right there in front of you. There we go.
So we don't have it as a PowerPoint for the public to be able to see?
Yeah, I mean, I am unfamiliar with the technology here. I have
Okay.
it available on my iPad, on my laptop.
Okay.
I printed it out.
All right.
So I can speak to it, and then
Okay.
if we need to, I can, we have an open house as well next week, so
Okay.
I can follow up with you all as well. So first of all, thank you all for allowing me the time this evening to come and introduce this project to you. We did, as a company, send out the 45-day notice of intent as well in late December, so that came first, and then, we're here to talk about the project as it is today. So my purpose is to provide you an overview of the project, to talk about why we're doing the project, talk to the engineering design. Currently, we're in the project development stage, but we have a proposed design and location for the substation. And then, of course, I'll speak to my area on the project, which I handle the outreach. So I'll be doing a lot of the presentations and such on this project. I have a team with me as well. I have Robin, who is a project developer on this project. We have Nancy, who represents, I was just knowing you as Nancy.
I'm legal counsel and I'm with Downs Franklin Martin in Vermont.
Yes, so her name was on the 45-day. And then I have a number of team members virtually as well joining us. So if I can't answer questions, there may be a team to help me, but we can also get back to you at another time as
Can you
well.
let them all in?
Oh,
Can you let them in?
Yeah,
Okay.
I see them on as virtual, so
Okay. Thank you.
they're here
Thank you.
listening and supporting us if we need them. So it's slide number 3, I believe. It shows the project overview. The location, we have a current substation. It's called the Vernon 13, and it's in the location of Governor Hunt Road, and it's right next to the dam location. So it's like basically right as you drive down the street. It's almost an orange color, but there's a substation right there. The proposed location, I will get to it on a map, but it's 0.1 miles away, so just over 500 feet. So we did that, intentionally. The need is driven by the need to assess asset conditions. The current station is very old, and the full requirements to separate our assets from Great River Hydro. Or the Vernon hydroelectric project, which is owned by Great River Hydro. And there's also, because of the move of the stations, we will need to just reroute some of the transmission lines that come into the station. So those are the A1, B2, which also follow down Fort Brigman Road behind some of the abutters. The D4, which comes across Fort Brigman from the other side of 2209 Fort Brigman, and then the G33, which kind of go down along near the dam. So with that, the scope is we're proposing to relocate the substation and basically move it from the east side to the west side. So there's a little hill in the middle. between Fort Brigham and Governor Hunt in that location. We recently built an O&M building for our local operations groups to access at 2209 Fort Brigham. So there's a new building there, which our operations will be, and it'll be accessed from that location. The existing right-of-way also travels that same location of where we're looking at. And the substation design will also accommodate, not part of this project, but we're building it, for the future needs of a 12.47 kilovolts for the Green Mountain Power, and also 2 future Great River Hydro 690 power lines. So, the next slide will show you the picture of the existing substation. I know some of you may not know, but and the picture at the bottom is from the existing right-of-way looking down at that station. And the parcel of land, I've highlighted it in this photo here on the right with an arrow pointed where the existing station is to the proposed location of the substation. So this location will avoid some major transmission reroutes. This is of its simplest forms. And as I noted, the existing corridor for the D4, which is the transmission line.
Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
So when that construction is complete and the lines have been connected, will the other one be demolished and taken away?
Some of it,
This is Robin.
our equipment, we will remove and decommission it and basically take out the foundations and everything and bring it back to level. However, Great River Hydro still has equipment in there, so
Right.
it will not be missing.
Okay, so we're not cleaning up a site when you're cleaning up your part of the
We're
site.
separating
So,
the
yeah.
assets, yes.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. The next slide is it was as an addendum to the 45-day notice. So it is an engineering design of the substation in the parcel. You can also see the O&M building is not seen there, but where the D4 line comes across Fort Brigham Road, that's where the O&M building is. And then the parcel behind, currently owned by Great River Hydro, is where we would, position that substation. There's a number of things to consider. There's, elevation changes on both sides down near the ice cream shop, as well as that little ravine on the back end. So that's basically what it would look like. And then also on that photo, you can see sort of the lines. So where they come into the existing station now, they're in orange. The new relocated transmission lines are in yellow.
They're in black and white.
Well, we got black and white.
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so the existing lines are not labeled as A1, B2, G33, B4, where on the colored version, you can see the new lines are labeled. So basically I don't know how to describe orange and black and white, but where the old station is, you can see a line coming down.
This help?
I have a colored version as well. Oh, yes.
You don't need a background.
So,
That's all right.
as I speak to the colors, the existing is in orange and the yellow is the relocation. I wanted to share that for colors. And I'm sorry, I should have brought colored photos for you all. So, as you look at that, I'll just talk to the timeline. Stakeholder outreach is what I'm responsible for. There's been a number of field assessments, to kind of get to this point. So I have been sending out notifications in regards to some of the activity out there. And I have also sent out an invitation for the open house, which we have invited the local abutters and stakeholders to that meeting, which will be here next Thursday at 6. And then I will follow up for those that cannot make it with the project fact sheet. And all of that has my, direct contact information, so if any questions do come up, I can put you in contact with the direct team member. Our permitting is currently underway, I apologize, the Vermont PUC application goes in spring of 2022, and then there's other state and federal permit filings that will occur 2022 to 2023. Vegetation management we expect it to occur before construction, so that is basically addressing the trees.
Thank you.
Do you all want to see that? Share.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. And that work will occur before the actual construction will begin as well, so we're expecting the summer of 2024.
Does vegetation management equate to clear cutting that area?
Yes, as needed.
Okay, so it would be better if you said that, because when I think of vegetation management, I think you're spraying weeds.
Right, it's,
I think they're planting flowers.
Yeah.
And then we expect construction to start in the fall of 2024. And it will take a couple of years to take, but the substation should be complete by the spring of 2026, and the transmission line work will be completed by the winter of 2025.
And with that clear cut, what is the runoff mitigation?
Well, do we have
Can I
anyone to
speak to
speak?
that a
Yes,
little bit?
Nancy.
The project engineers and environmental team are working with the Agency of Natural Resources in terms of what, where they're cutting, what they're cutting, and then what the planting plan is associated with that along the banks and elsewhere, and that'll be covered in the filing by the environmental team. In other
Okay.
words, it is being coordinated to ensure there is vegetation and planting plans that go along with it.
Will
that
we
don't-
see those before the final permits, or before the, as much as I trust the Agency of Natural Resources to do a good job, I think the folks that live in the area there might want to know what the stormwater runoff is going to be like, and what the vegetation that's going to be planted is.
Yes, and that will be included, there will be plan documents and exhibits with these plans included when the petition is filed this spring before anything starts at the PUC, so that'll be included as proposed and will be reviewed, including by town, regional planning commission, whoever.
So we'll get a copy of it.
Yes, you will get a full copy.
Thank you.
And that basically summarizes the project. It is a complex project, but, the overview, is pretty simple. And just the last slide of that is just my contact information, as I often meet with the abutters around. I, can bring back comments to the project team. So I am, the face of this project, as I like to call it.
Any questions?
Any questions at this point?
No, thank you for answering what I had.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Any virtually? Okay. Well, this is not the last time you'll see of us. Obviously, we'll be back next Thursday. But if anything does come up in the meantime or throughout, please, give me a call and let me know. And we will come and talk about it in further detail.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Did you have any questions?
I couldn't hear what she was saying, so.
Oh,
Okay.
Hopefully her presentation will be picked up on the recording.
We get the audio of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
do you live nearby?
Yes.
Okay. I can also take your contact information too.
You can,
Yeah, I can email.
and then so, you can email, if you have an email, you can email you.
Can we text
The same
this?
company.
Or is this going to be part of a
This is just
negotiation? Huh?
It's just information.
I understand it's information, but when this is done, there'll be an increased value, or a new value. What's the tax value of this as compared to the other?
Keep my copy.
Yeah, well, that's something we'd like to know. If you could bring that back to
I
your,
don't need
That'll
to
get up to Carol.
yeah.
I'm Nancy Montoya.
What's the increased value of this compared to the old decrepit thing you're tearing down?
I do not know the answer to that. So you're talking land value?
Oh, no,
Oh, the
Tax value.
taxes that we, okay. I'm not sure, I'd have to get back to you on
I'm sure
that.
it's a lot more.
In my town, they tell me, I never tell them.
Yeah, 2 people behind you.
Yeah.
Tax,
All right, moving on, the Girl Scouts have sent a letter
Thank you.
of request. Do I have a volunteer to read it, or do you want me to? Jean, would you like to read it?
Sure. It says, introduction, Vernon Girl Scout Troop 40907 understands that the town decorates a Christmas tree each year in an area near the town gazebo. Because this is a yearly event in which the town uses taxpayer money, not sure about that,
Right.
and purchase an evergreen tree each year, the Girl Scouts would like to propose that a tree be planted in this area to create a renewable resource. Although we acknowledge that this tree would not start out as a full-grown tree, we propose that a tree that would grow and develop on this land would be of benefit to the town. Troop 40907 would like to purchase and plant a tree in this area to benefit the town in the future. This would be a donation, and the troop would, with the help of the town, plant and care for the tree for a 4-month period after it was planted to help ensure its growth. We feel this would provide environmental stewardship, help the climate, beautify the environment, and provide habitat for animals. Do you want any more?
Need some-
I think the conclusion.
Okay, in conclusion, our hope is that the girls understand the importance of trees, and although what we do may be a small project in the grand scheme of things, if many troops across the country over the next 5 years planted trees, it would have a bigger impact on our world. Also, the Girl Scout leaders will be pleased to work with the town administrator and any other department in the process of determining the exact location, needs of the town, and other possibilities of tree planting in the community. Maybe we should say this too. Oh, I should have read some of this other stuff. The Girl Scout troop in Vernon will plant and care for an evergreen tree to be planted and tended on the property. Okay, they already said this actually.
Yeah.
They will choose, purchase, and care for the tree for a 4-month period. The tree will belong to the town and be used as the town sees fit in the future. The Girl Scouts will need help in the process of planting the tree. The Girl Scouts will choose and purchase the tree, but will need help in digging a hole in the place the tree is to be planted and access to water for the process. We ask that after the initial 4-month period, that the town take over care of the tree.
Okay, Laura, what is your pleasure?
You want to discuss after, or?
To make a motion, then we'll discuss.
Okay. I move that we approve, the Girl Scouts planting an evergreen tree on the town green, I guess, the area near the gazebo, in coordination with the town administrator.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, now discussion.
As you recall, we had a huge tree over there that used to get decorated that did end up dying. There was an attempt to plant another tree, which that was during a very dry summer, and that died. So the attendance to caring for it is a really big component for me. That so I think it would be nice to have a tree over there again. And hopefully after 4 months it'll be able to survive with the environmental help, not somebody watering it all the time, but yeah, I think that's a nice idea.
Anybody else? Tom?
No, I think it's a great idea.
Anybody from the audience? Okay, all those in favor of allowing the Girl Scouts to do this, please signify by saying aye. Jeff?
Right.
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
And aye, motion carries. Thank you very much, girls. Town admin review procedure, John Moore.
So I kind of,
Thank you.
thank you. I thank Jean for getting the form. I think it's a good form too.
I think it's what we've used in the past.
Okay.
Past records are really sketchy.
Yeah, my concern, and it's maybe for going forward, not necessarily for this first 6-month initial review, is that we need to have some criteria other than how we individually think she's done. There needs to be something measurable. You know, it's, otherwise a review can be seen as looking at the negatives and not the positives so much. You know, we need to improve upon this and improve upon this, and I'd like to have some specific criteria that we measure the administrator on, otherwise it's too much of a free-for-all. Maybe because it's been there, done that, and we need to we need to have some objectives of what we're measuring. I think we all have an idea of what it is, but I think it's only fair to the administrator too that she know what the evaluation is based on.
Okay. Jean?
So, I usually base evaluations on job description, because that's the expectations. And I don't know what other criteria you would have. I feel like that's already been laid out. You put a lot of work into job descriptions.
Yes.
But do you feel that's not appropriate?
I feel that's a piece of it, because COVID's come along, and that's, you know, that's not in the job description as to, you could look at that as the day-to-day operations of the community, but especially in the first year, the job description is an outline. It's not a task-specific. There are some specific things in there, but that's a guide.
I think that though, when you talk about the crises that she's had to deal with or whatever, that's where you can put the positive spin into the different categories, because I feel like we'd be like writing another job description if we started, okay, we're gonna talk about how she handled this crisis and how she handled that. I mean,
And it's to implement the policies of the board. Okay, that's what primarily what the town administrator would do. The goals and objectives of the board and well, we haven't set any real goals for the year as to what we want to see happen during the course of the year. I think you're right. I think it's too loosey-goosey the way it is.
I know when they came down from some state department, they said that your job description is what the evaluation should be based on. So let's put this under advisement and think it over, okay?
if, you know, if going through with the questions, it just feels like we could lend ourselves to something like that, but I've never depended on writing another whole criteria to do an evaluation when there's a job description in place.
Which is what they're hired to do.
And because I think you can
Well,
fit in the exceptional situations, and that's a positive right there, that there was exceptional situations that, you know, that she had to deal with.
I look at it from one who has been evaluated as a town administrator, both positively and negatively as the years go on, because that happens. And I don't think the job description is a good barometer as to what goes on in the town hall on a day-to-day basis. That's just one person's opinion, that's all.
I'd have to look at this form again. I know that forms that I've used in the past also have goals. So that's going forward, that
Yeah, that's what I
also
said, moving
gives,
ahead.
you know, once you do this evaluation
Yeah.
and you set some goals and things that you wanna see happening, gives
Yeah.
you something to evaluate
Right.
in the future.
This is a good, we use this as a baseline then.
Hey, Tom, can you explain a little more about, so we're talking about a job description, but you also are looking for something more. Can you be more
Sure.
specific as to what?
So, the idea, it says shall be a grants person, okay? I'm trying to give you a good example, and I'm coming up short. We expect the things in the job description to be accomplished. That's what we hire a person for. That's their outline for doing things. But it may be monitoring the progress of this thing, okay? Reporting back on the FERC actions, go to the meetings, the public hearings, so we don't have to. I don't mean it in a bad way, that type of thing. But we should have a set of criteria that we want to accomplish over the course of the next year, as opposed to just the weekly meetings. What is it that we want? You know, I think if we looked at the retirement thing this year, that was outside the normal job description, and she did a really good job pulling that together. You know, look at, do a review of the benefits package, or do a review of if there's any other Blue Cross available that we could save money on. Finding efficiencies. I don't have a good one. I would have to take a
Well,
look at it.
I think in a way, some of that falls on the employee to, brag about themselves in the sense of, I accomplished this, and this, and they do a self-evaluation and give it back to us. I mean, that's a perfect opportunity to identify those successes throughout the term that's being evaluated.
So perhaps when we finish this baseline review, we can meet with the administrator and agree on 4 or 5 goals that we'd like to see accomplished, that we can mutually agree upon, that aren't adding so much to the plate that something has to fall off the other side, because there's only people that have so much capacity before something falls off. That's all. I just don't, personally, I don't think that, and I know they came down and told you that, I don't think basing a review on a job description is probably the best way to do a review.
Okay. All right. Anything else on this?
Thank you for indulging me.
It's better than drums. Okay, ARPA, Shelley? ARPA's up.
She has us on mute.
Okay, so I made a list of some of the things that we should be using the ARPA money for as far as capital improvements, rates for the town hall. So I came up with a list of generator for emergency management, town clerk to install a plexiglass window, sheriff's department, electronic speed signs was recommended. These are just a list of many things. Fire department radios, insulating the roof is a possibility. However, all in all, the VLCT very strongly recommends holding a public meeting for input, so that the residents also have a say in where they feel the money should go. But I just feel that some of these projects, some of these large items are things that we would definitely benefit from in the long run, get the most bang for our buck, But I just started the list, and I wanted you folks to think about it. Maybe there are some things that I'm not aware of, where you see that these funds should be used.
Okay. Thank you, and maybe talk to Tim about, actions that can't be taken at town meeting, but the discussion after the last article, that'd be a great time to get the town's input.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I thought of that too,
Okay.
that last discussion.
Yeah, when we have the most people present, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the things that, with all of these projects that are listed, we ought to see if we can use that ARPA money as leverage to get other money, to use it as a match.
Yes, we can do that.
Great. Okay, we need to schedule a public hearing for flood hazard bylaws and a joint meeting with planning commission. Shelley, do you have any dates to suggest?
So on this one, this has to be warned, I want to say it's, I'm not sure if it's 2 weeks or if it's 30 days in advance in the newspaper. I need to send something to the surrounding towns. So I was looking at April 19th, but I'm not sure if that gives me enough time to get it into the newspaper. So I'm thinking maybe 6 weeks out, which would bring us to what, May?
The first meeting in May, right?
First meeting.
May 3rd?
Yeah.
If everyone is in agreement, that sounds okay.
Okay, board,
Yes.
everybody agreement with that? Jeff?
Is that our,
It's our
like
regular
our
meeting.
meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the meeting night, and you could open it with a public hearing and then, take care of regular business.
Yeah.
Could warn it as both. I think it can warn it as both,
Mhm.
because I know that's what the planning commission did.
Yeah.
For their public hearing.
Mhm.
They didn't have any input. There wasn't one single resident, there wasn't anybody,
So it usually is.
so
Okay.
I think it should be brief.
All right, we need to have a brief executive session on number 5.
Okay.
And you only need one motion.
Okay. Madam Chair, I move that the board enter into executive session for the discussion or consideration of records or documents accepted from the public access records law
So,
Okay, Rich.
and not return into open session?
We'll return.
And return into open session, okay, thank you.
Okay. And Shelley, with Shelley.
And invite the town administrator in as well.
Okay. We have a second? All those in favor, Jeff? Tom?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Okay, we entered executive session at 7:21, came out at 7:24, and no action was taken. Our next regular meeting is Tuesday, April 5th at 6:30. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. All those in favor, Jeff? Tom?
Aye.
Jean? We are adjourned.